let's take a look at modifiers. Modifiers do exactly that. They modify sentences. A modifier is a word or a group of words that describes or limits another element in the sentence. For example, in the sentence, the woman with the black hat donated $1 million, the phrase with the black hat is a modifier. Generally speaking, adjectives modify nouns, and adverbs modify verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs. Do not use an adjective to modify a verb, as in the example below. He played good. Rather, use an adverb to modify the verb, as in he played well, or an adverb to modify the already adverb, he played really well, or an adjective to modify the noun, he had a good style, or an adverb to modify the adjective, he had a really good style. Two of the most common errors with modifiers in writing include the misplaced modifier or the dangling modifier. In the next few slides, I'll show you how to find and fix misplaced and dangling modifiers. In the sentence, the dog barked all night. If we add the word neighbors, the neighbor's dog barked all night, neighbors is a single word modifier. Again, the dog barked all night. Chained to a tree, the dog barked all night. Chained to a tree is a phrase modifier. And finally, an example of a clause modifier would be taking the sentence, the dog barked all night, and adding, the dog that chases my cat barked all night. As you can see, most modifiers come right before or right after the word they describe. One way to think about a modifier is like an arrow, and the word it describes as its target. When you hit the target, you have no error. In the sentence below, Whitney ate a pizza loaded with toppings. Pizza is the target, and loaded with toppings is the modifier. But when you don't hit the target, you write a misplaced modifier. Loaded with toppings, Whitney ate a pizza. Loaded with toppings is the arrow, but pizza is way at the end of the sentence. There are too many words separating the modifier from the target, and it makes it confusing. Is Whitney loaded with toppings, or is the pizza? And if you neglect to include a target, you write a dangling modifier, and the arrow has to ask, what was I supposed to hit? Devouring the pizza, the toppings were delicious. Devouring the pizza is the modifier, the arrow. But where's the logical target? We need Whitney back to eat the pizza. To fix a misplaced modifier, revise the sentence so that your arrow hits the target word, like this. Shooting the basketball, a satisfying swish, as this was the sound Katie hoped to hear. Shooting the basketball is the modifier. Shooting the basketball, a satisfying swish, was the sound Katie hoped to hear. But the swish isn't the target, Katie is. Therefore, shooting the basketball, Katie hoped to hear a satisfying swish. Now the modifier hits the target because shooting the basketball is located right next to its target, Katie. To fix a dangling modifier, add a target word for your arrow to hit, like this. Deep fried in hot oil, we love when Grandma cooks. Deep fried in hot oil is the modifier, but that sentence looks like Grandma's the one cooked, or cooked her family. Deep fried in hot oil, the chicken Grandma cooks makes our mouths water. Now that's a logical target for the modifier. Deep fried in hot oil is the modifier, and the chicken is the target. So include targets for your modifiers and then hit them. And hit the right target, please.